Well then, so here we are, and it's the 19th night of the, oh wait, no, the 20th night, I'm sorry, 19th day, 20th day comes tomorrow, of the fast. It's a fast which has many names, um, but we just call it the fast, because it comes once a year, when the lunar month of Ramadan in the Arabic calendar comes around. At the very instant that moon begins, the fast begins. And in my experience, at the instant that that moon ends, and the new moon, at the instant that the new moon starts, the moment the fast is over. So it is connected um, to the cycle of the moon. And it's a Ramadan moon, so they call it Ramadan. It's kind of a coarse way of referring to a command that the Almighty has given us, given mankind, to fast every year. And so I just wanted to talk to you briefly about the benefits. What is the benefit? What are the benefits that I've experienced? I've been doing the fast for 45, 50, some odd years. Pretty strongly too. I mean, sunrise to sunset, and trying to do the inner fast. Don't think about sad things. Don't get angry. Don't allow yourself to get angry. Don't think unpleasant or unpleasant thoughts or any kind of thing like that. And so one of the benefits of the fast is that it shows you how to do that, because whenever time you start having an unpleasant thought, if you say it rises up within you, something to take care of it. So if you just observe, or you look at it, you pay attention to what's going on with you, and I start to have a nasty thought, then Allah, pushes it back in the background, takes it away, whatever. And then, so at the beginning of the fast, you're doing a lot of Allah, because in the beginning, particularly, you have a lot of thoughts which really aren't allowed, and but you kind of you let them come in and nest here and there, as long as they don't get out of control, why you don't pay too much attention. But in the fast, you don't want to have them at all. So every time they come in the door, Allah, out the door, and it works perfectly. And the more faith and the more full-hearted you are, whatever, it'll work even stronger. But you don't need to be this and be that. Just observe and follow naturally. You don't need to use your will. Allah. I'm just letting it happen. I'm not doing something. Allah, begin, start, finish, go ahead. Allah, God. God loves you. Allah, He cares for you. He wants you to be happy. And you can see that because, look at the earth. It's so beautiful, isn't it? So many nice things. And just how you feel about it. It's so wonderful, isn't it? How you feel. Somebody had to create all these things. Nothing just happens. It has to be created. Particularly if it's a complex feeling of joy, feeling of happiness. We can hardly describe what these things are to other. We know when we feel them. Anywho, the benefits of the fast. These are going to be from my point of view, and then I'm going to get more inclusive or exclusive, I guess would be the word I'm going to talk about, just not from the point of view of my own self, but just from what comes to me inwardly. And hopefully this won't be very long. Alright, so the benefits, because I know you people, you don't want to listen to anything that takes very long these days. 2020, Ramadan, May 11th, the day after Mother's Day. So, what Well, for instance, you can lose weight because you're not eating as much. Trim yourself up. You have a chance to not be distracted by the world. In other words, you stop listening to the world. Stop listening to the news, and you stop watching movies and all the things that man pleasures himself with and likes to do and has fun with, and and does other things with as well. Once in a while, brainwashes people, gets them to his point, whatever. You stop watching all of that, and what do you find? Well, you have to find these things out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. You have to do the fast, and then you can find these things out for yourself. What you find is that you feel, kind of happier not having all that stuff around, all this, the turmoil. And you notice that, when you're with it, it's like it goes up. Oh, here we're going to find the solution. Here we have the answer. Here's a good man coming forth. He's got the answer. And then the arguing and between the groups that they think they know what's best. And big relief, and everybody kind of decides that's the thing to do. And then the kind of horror or the dismay when the thing that's the best that everybody decided was the best they do, that's not what they do. They do something else. As if they never heard. Yes, possibly they didn't. They never heard the good answer. They just heard some kind of answer that serves themselves. Whoever it is. And so forth and so on. So, it's nice just not to have that there. It's very pleasant to take a break. It's also interesting to think that to take a break from something is good because, it kind of changes the pace. I mean, if you go off to Italy, well, of course you wouldn't want to go to Italy right now, but I mean, if you went off to, say, Italy in a former time, and maybe in the future as well, I'm sure, it's a different culture over there, and people do things a different way, and they speak a different language, and they have different money, and the girls are pretty in a different way, and nuts are pretty in a different way, and, all the kinds of things that can kind of interest you, or kind of, it's a new experience, unless you've been to Italy many times, or unless you've originally lived there, but so the fast is like that, you spend 11 months, or if you're a Muslim, 12 moons of the year. But for us in the West, 11 months, putting on our Western civilization yoke, or cloak, being Western civilizationers, and abiding the laws and the customs and so forth of that culture, to whatever degree we find to be that we choose to have, or that we have been brought to have, and we maintain. So it's a step away from that, because then another thing you find is that eating, you don't need to eat much food. Of course, you're not doing much. But then these days, people aren't physically doing much anyway. But even my son, he teaches autistic children. He doesn't need to eat much. I mean, he's doing it from home, of course. Now, the new, Zoom and the video classrooms and so on. But still, he doesn't need to eat. You don't need to eat as much as you thought. And that way, once you realize that, if you pay attention to it, and your appetites aren't so big. And you might say, well, but my appetites are big. Well, that's a good reason to do the fast, because if you fast every day, from dawn from dawn, not sunrise, but from dawn to sunset, you find that after a period of years, particularly, and that was my experience, it's the experience I think of a lot of people, probably most, I don't know, but a lot of people, is that your appetites disappear. They disappear. They're not there anymore. So, when your body wants to eat, you may choose to eat or not eat at that time. But the appetite for, chocolate pudding or whatever it is not the same. It's more contained. It's like, chocolate pudding would be nice. I'll have a little bit. Oh my God, chocolate pudding! Oh, give me some of that chocolate pudding! I love chocolate pudding. gobble it down or whatever. So your habits become more modern. You know, that leads to better health, doesn't it? So you like to be healthy, don't you? And so it helps you to be more healthy. Look at me. I'm 78. I haven't seen a doctor seriously for 40 years. Maybe 50, getting on 50 mostly. 40 years for sure. No pills. I don't take any medicine. I eat organic because I think if you have any sense, you're going to eat organic instead of eating food that man thought he could mess around. He's so smart. You know? Mess around with the way God created it. Make it better. I mean, if that isn't the height of stupidity, I don't know what is. Make it better in what way? But then, ooh, it's worse in another way. Gosh, and the animals won't even eat this stuff. They go right to the other side if they have a choice. I've heard that from quite a few sources. So there's truth there. Also, you stop thinking about negative things, and you start to see how much, things like negativity, and you stop complaining. You're not allowed to complain. So you see how those things kind of creep into your life, and it kind of checks them. So it's a good check to keep all this stuff out of your life. You have a whole month to work on it. And then the next year, every year you do it, so every year you can work on it even more. Now, why would the Almighty well, before there, I'm just going to try to keep going with what I see, what I've experienced has been really useful. Then you feel lighter, and it helps your hope too. I mean, you hope you're trying to become spiritually grow and things, and so you want to grow. You want God to grow you. You can't grow yourself spiritually. What a funny idea. But God can bring you along, fix up your inner organs so they work better, and He does too. And so then, as the fast progresses and you get all cleaned up, and you sort of empty out of all your emotions you've been thinking about and one thing and another and stuff, and you kind of get more and more quiet. You get to the point you say, well, I don't even know what to do, but not to worry. You just kind of go with that. You accept that. You don't know what to do, and then you just kind of see what happens. And sure enough, you'll find, like right now, well, I don't know what to do, but I'm making a tape, which I think is could be useful. And I'm having fun doing it. I like making tapes. So, son's resting. He'll get up in a little bit, and we'll have breakfast. And then we'll have another fasting day. It's over 16 hours. Around 16 hours at this point. It's a little over 16 for me. Because I don't fast the astronomical dawn. I fast, there's an inner thing that happens to me. So, in the real dawn, it's a little bit more subtle, that they don't pick up in the instruments. But it comes a little earlier, I've found. Sometimes in my astonishment when I went to have a smoke or something, no, can't do it, and we get stopped. That happens to me because my soul is stronger than I am, thank God. I mean, so there are also other benefits. It's hard to think of them all. You get healthier. You feel lighter. You get a chance to think about things you may have done wrong. Try to find ways to to behave better. I mean, operate better so that your behavior is more in line with the guidance and the will of the one who created you. And these are things which you can look at and observe in your own self and see what's true and what's not true. And so, you have time to spend. In a way, it's kind of like spending time on vacation. You spend time with the Almighty. Do exactly what He says, and then God gives you things because He says them for a reason. So He says them so that He can give you things, because He loves you and cares about you. Okay, enough of that. So that was quite a bit. And let's just talk a few minutes now from the point of view of just my own inner. So let's see if I get my inner to talk to you. Well, fast is important for man to cleanse him of his errors that he had the previous year, that he accumulated, and the dirt that he accumulated in his being, so that he can be cleansed and he can operate successfully and in a purer way in the coming year. It's a renewal of his instruments and his being that helps him to navigate through this world. God loves you, and so He offers you this, and sometimes He commands you. He's on command. It's for my own good, because I sometimes don't figure things out when I figure out the wrong thing. So I'm made for that. And so God loves you. So trust in what comes up within you, and what indications that you have, and what feelings that you have. See if you can determine which feelings that you have come from a good place, that's benign, and which feelings don't. And see, if you want to go further, which ones you're moved to follow, or you're allowed to follow, and which ones you weren't. And you have feelings that are quite terrible, and you're not allowed to follow those. If you pay attention, you'll see there's no movement within you to follow those things. One of your passions, God forbid, might cause you to do if your soul is weak. So the fast is actually a command from the Almighty. You're too dirty to see it very clearly. You hardly notice it, most of you. That's how dirty you are. So get cleaned up and enjoy life, and the real life that God is giving you on the earth, which if you follow the guidance of God, you can be safe and secure. Troubles may come, troubles may go, but you will remain in a positive vein, in a place that is clear and high, a place that will make you happy, and make you want, eventually to die, but not to die while you're here, but to die later and go to the other side, where you will abide in a happy place, still growing there, etc., etc. Goodbye.